fast side, one drop down. I would do anything to make sure I'm not in last place. If I wake up, don't make no money, that's a sad day. 2500 on my shirt with the tags. I want it that way. I want it that way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the EPAN to the UKV pod, where I'm your host, Drew Pitzer, joined by my co-host, Josh Carpenter. And today we have a very, very special guest joining us from West Virginia University, the host of the Final Four podcast with Kevin Jones, and also played for the Final Four team back in 2010. John Flowers, how you doing today, my man?
Good, man. I appreciate the introduction, man. That's big time. I appreciate the love, support, man.
Going on your career, you joined with Coach John Beilein. That's who originally you signed with until he left to go to Michigan. And you started the Coach Bob Huggins journey with him. You played all 4 years there, cultivated by going to a Final Four in 2010. What was it like playing those 4 years of basketball for arguably one of the greatest coaches of all time?
One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, you know what I mean? It's basically military training. So, I mean, but he helped set me up for life, you know what I mean? So basically just going forward, it's like, if I could, and I was literally like saying this in my head in practice, like if I could finish this, I could do anything.
Right.
Yeah, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. Yeah, man, he was a good coach, man. Beilein was also a good coach. I always wondered like how it would have been if I would have played for him, but he it's two different coaches. You know, one's offensive minded. He's an offensive genius. And that's kind of why I committed to Coach Beilein, just because I was all about just improving my game, just getting better at my game. That's what it was about for me. So I knew he was going to help me do that offensively. I already played defense in high school, blocking shots and doing that stuff. But is on the other side of the spectrum, he's going to make you improve on defense and just perseverance and mentally and all that stuff. So it worked out, though.
It definitely worked out. And Josh, before I kind of hand it over to you, that kind of pivots to my next question. Obviously, it's been almost about 20 years since you played, but it's been 20 years since you got recruited. And with the introduction to Transfer Portal from a couple years ago and kind of how prevalent it is today with all the NIL money, what do you think that could look like? Because do you think there had been a possible chance maybe you would have played at West Virginia, or you might have flipped and went to Michigan, maybe not after your freshman year, but eventually you could have tried to make that connection without losing any eligibility?
Yeah, to Michigan. Talked to Beilein about it. He was like, he couldn't legally tell me to go, but he just wished me luck. He didn't say anything, like, you know what I mean? I think I could have went if I would have dug into it, but I talked to the guys, Missoula and Deshaun, Wellington, like those guys. It was a freshman class that just got there, that they just stuck around. So I was like, I'm stuck. As far as today, like, if there was NIL and that type of stuff, I mean, the money talks, right? So that's
Now you books like that's because think about it. They were making money off of your name and likeness back when you played, and obviously, I'm sure you would have liked to make some of that back pay. But like you look at Johnny Manziel, or you look like what Tim Tebow were in college football, how much money that they really could have made. Instead, Reggie Bush loses his Heisman because he took free housing. Like it's just, I just think about that, man. It's crazy that for so long y'all weren't even able to get paid. Like I just think that's Josh has a question about this too, about how West Virginia is going to be able to compete within that. So Josh, I'll kind of go ahead and turn it over to you.
Yeah, I want to go back real quick. How did you get recruited by Beilein, and what were some of the other schools? Like, what was that early contact?
so my 10th grade year of high school. I went to public school at the Thomas Stone High School, and then I transferred to private school. Shout out to Coach Tallman. He coaches at Morgantown High School now. He was the assistant at the time. Shout out to Danny Sancombe. He's coaching at Cal PA right now. They were my high school coaches, and they basically recruited me to go to the private school. And they recruited me saying, hey, it was my goal just to get acknowledged and recognized in my colleges and stuff. So they were in the WCAC, which was the toughest conference in America at that time. They had to map because it's big schools. So always playing. There was other kids in that conference that were getting recruited and stuff. So I had the chance to just prove myself against them, and other schools and stuff would look out. So those coaches, my high school coaches, told me, hey, if you come, then you'll definitely have that opportunity. All you gotta do is perform and work hard. So my first day at my private school, I had a letter from Xavier University on my desk in class. So that was pretty dope. I was remember that. My coach just worked hard. Coach Sancombe just worked hard. He just made calls. We had colleges every day just coming in to watch practice like every single day, like a different college. I remember Tubby Smith came in. He was at Memphis at the time, I think. Virginia Tech was my second option. If I didn't come to WVU, I probably would have went to Virginia Tech. Took a visit there. All Clemson, Virginia, Wake Forest, a lot of ACC and Big East schools.
Talking about like the assistant coach making calls, I think about this all the time. I'm like, man, you know how many high schools in West Virginia, like obviously these kids aren't going to play Division 1, but can you imagine how many coaches don't even make one call for any of their guys to any school ever each year? You got some kids that are good at school, like they can play maybe D3, they can go NAI. These guys, some of these coaches aren't even making any calls ever
No.
for their guys.
And that's how it was at my public school. My coach at my public school, my brother was really good. Like, he's really good. He just never made any calls. Like, my public school I went to is historically known for producing the best talent out of Waldorf. You know what I mean? And we had so many guys that just didn't go anywhere. Just wasted time. So I was seeing it, I was like, I don't want to do this. You know what I mean? Possibly, it was a tough decision because I wanted to stay with my friends and stuff. We probably would have won a state championship, but
Right.
yeah, it was tough. But Coach Sancombe just told me, look, your friends are going to be your friends regardless if you stay or go. They're still my boys to this day, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Last one, Jordan, I'll pass it back to you. Was when you were playing in high school and even like at West Virginia, the games kind of changed spacing wise, pace wise. What was your kind of role back then and compared to now how you would have to have played if it was like 5 out? How much different is it now than when you played, you think?
Yeah, I said it like that. It was funny how you said it. You said I was basically freshman through junior year. I was kind of just out there, just middle, you know what I mean? But I was like 13 to 15 minutes a game my
Yep.
freshman.
14 and a half over 3 years. That's what you averaged.
Yeah,
You were
so
49%. That was another thing that kept you off the floor.
what'd you say? I didn't say that again.
You were 49% from the free throw line. I think that was another thing because your senior year, you shot him as 80% from the line. So I think that's what was one thing that kind of held you back a little bit from playing extended minutes.
I mean, look at the attempt. That's what,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but you got a lot of attempts your senior year, though.
yes, senior. That's what I'm saying. I had more attempts my senior year, which brought up the percentage naturally.
Right.
For
But
sure.
people always say like he couldn't shoot free throws. Like it's tough to if you make one of two, that's 50%.
Yeah.
Not like you can't make them. It's just tough when you're not playing a lot of minutes and then you don't have the rhythm. Like you don't come in.
Creating that rhythm's tough, bro. Hey, I get that more than anybody. That was
You
because
made
when
a
you're
big one
playing.
though when it mattered, huh?
I guess sometimes.
Yeah, facts though. I mean, but you were still like defensively. I mean, think about it, you had 55 blocks your senior year. Like you were still swatting. I think you averaged about a block a game your first 3 years too. I mean, you contributed. You were definitely a big time player. But I guess my question is, what did it take to get that growth from your junior to your senior year to happen? Because you're so close to 1,000 points. You play another 5 or 6 games, you probably get 1,000, and that really solidifies your spot as one of the best players in West Virginia history. How many think you got?
You
I'd say
just
it
said
starts
it.
with a 9. Yeah, it starts with a 9.
I did not know that.
It's 9. You had 905 points, 600 rebounds, and 100 some assists and over 100 blocks. I mean, that's you were a Swiss Army knife. That's the way I looked at it.
I don't even think that's true. I think you're reading somebody else's.
Hey, you tell me ESPN and Next Gen stat line. Hey, that's something you got to address with them.
That's
That's
funny.
the readily available stats.
I never knew that. I mean, I just wasn't my role on the team to score. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
I robbed for Defensive Player of the Year. I lost to Rick Jackson, who played at Syracuse. They sit in the
Oh, I
zone.
remember Rick Jackson. He was tough.
Yeah, but they sit in the zone the whole game. You know what I mean? Like
Man,
Yeah, that 2-3 extended drove me absolutely crazy.
so he blocked shots though. He had like one or two more block shots than me or something like that.
But when they're playing that zone, you're literally funneling them inside because that's how you beat a zone. You get the ball to the high post and you try to hit, either the dump off or short corner.
Yeah.
what
So I
y'all
mean, my
play? What
argument,
y'all play mostly? Did you play 1-3-1 a lot your early days, and then what did you play mostly with Huz? Was it just straight man, or did y'all? Is that before he ever
That
started
extended
pressing, or what?
1-3-1 was. I remember watching that with you'd have, I believe you had Ebanks on the front, and he would pressure the ball.
yeah. I mean, mostly it was man. So that was my argument about Rick Jackson. Like y'all gave him Defensive Player of the Year.
Hmm.
I'm out here. I'm guarding 1 through 5. I'm guarding 7-foot centers. I'm guarding Kimball Walker, who's the best point. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here moving my feet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That was my argument. But shout out to him. That's my man's too, by the way. But yeah, shout out to him. He got it. But yeah, we played 1-3-1 a couple times. I think Darius or Joe kind of, Huz kind of asked him like how Beeline ran it, and then he
yeah.
kind of added his twist to it. Yeah, yeah, you
Because it
right.
was a little bit before the Press Virginia days, because that was about 2012, 13 is when that started. But you guys still played incredibly hard on the ball, denied the passing lanes. I mean, it was the principles and Huggy's defense was really just built off toughness, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the difference we couldn't do the press. I don't think we would do good at the press. I think we tried it, but we couldn't do it. The best thing about our team is we had a bunch of 6'7" wings. We had Deshaun Butler could run. I love this lineup. Deshaun Butler at the one, Devin Ebanks at the two. You could switch to one of those. Devin could play the one. Me at the three, Kevin Jones at the four, and then Wellington Smith at the five.
Yeah.
Wellington was like that, bro.
And
Man,
So
like with a team like that, you could switch everything too.
one through
yeah,
five, yeah.
That's the best part
yeah,
about it. Like you could switch everything.
yeah. So that's what we was doing. We was just switching everything.
And everybody can really handle the ball. To be fair, like you guys can. I think Ebanks was an underrated passer. I mean, you look at some of his highlights. That dude was dropping dimes for real.
He's just
I'm
a
Nah,
dead
good
he,
player.
serious.
nah, Ebanks is tough for sure. Yeah, I just look back at the talent that we had, and it was just, yeah, it was good. But I saw that one team. I forgot whose team it was. It was not Deuce. Was
With
Javon
Carter
on
and
that?
them.
JC.
I don't think it was Javon. I think it was Jawan Staten.
Mm.
Oh, you talking about that? Yeah, Jawan State, and they had he was number 5. But God bless, he was tough.
Page. Probably Page.
Jay Sean Page. Yeah, he was cold.
I want to say I just posted something about it on X the other day, but that team was stacked.
Yeah.
They ran into that.
We got to talk about that Big East back then. Like, I'm 28, but I feel like I'm an old head when I say, like, teams back then, each team had an identity. Every team was talented. Every team was, like, well coached. And I feel like now, I don't know if it's just transfers or how it works, but it's like, it's
There's
really
no
watered down
chemistry or
compared to back
cohesiveness
then.
built now.
The Big East itself back then, like, every team had an identity. Like, you knew, Louisville was pressing back then. You know what you're going to get with Louisville. You know what you're going to get with Syracuse. Now it's just like every game is just kind of like a watered down version. Nobody has an identity.
Yeah, I think you mean like the name, like so. When you play WVU, you're gonna play Bob Huggins and that press. You're gonna play uh,
Offering a
Javon.
long weekend at your in-laws.
Yeah, so you're gonna play against those 4-year players. You know what I mean? I knew every time we played against Notre Dame, we were going against Herringody, or we
Luke,
playing.
oh my God, Aaron Goody
Yeah,
was different.
UConn was Kemba and Tabit. You know what I mean? They had those household names like
Yeah.
and when
Dealing with
those
Boeheim, dealing with Calhoun.
yeah, so it's like now it's just like you can buy a team, you just buy the best team for the year, and you go from there. But yeah, Big East was tough, man. But the only thing between the Big 12 and the Big East was like the Big East had gimme games. Like in my 4 years, I never lost to Seton Hall, never lost to Rutgers, never lost to DePaul. St. John's rarely. I think
Y'all lost one time there. I remember that. Y'all lost at St.
yeah, one time. There's somebody else too, but I forgot. But we had some of those like gimme games. But for the top 7, 8 teams though were just tough. It was just tough. So
Yeah, with 4 years, like these guys are buying teams every year, but it's like you can't buy that chemistry that you get with hooping with
No.
somebody for years. So it's like that's why the product looks different in my opinion, because it's like these guys are in a system for 4 years. Like those Big East teams were legit.
that's what we're trying to do with West Virginia and the alumni stuff is just keep familiar faces around. But it's tough though. It's tough.
Let's pivot to the AAU stuff and the stuff you were doing in Charleston with the bill. Like, talk about what you're trying to accomplish, what the dilemma is with it. Like, just talk about that whole thing.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the WBSS.
I have a relationship with him.
I'm assistant coach at George Washington in Charleston, so we're definitely
Okay.
we're definitely involved
So shit, you can help me understand some of these rules and stuff.
for
But from
sure.
Listen, I'll explain everything about the WSSAC you need to know because it's insane, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
keep
mean,
keep it respectful, man. Keep it respectful.
Yeah,
yeah,
like at the end of the day, they're trying to do what's best for kids. But with the new 4-class system that came in, and there was a major change in rules, and even the landscapes, how playoffs and regionals and sectionals work now. it's just hard to get constant communication out of them. But I know they try their best. They're underfunded, but man, we gotta do better. We need a shot clock. That's my biggest urge.
Yeah. John,
Yeah,
explain what your guys are trying to do, like exactly like what you guys are trying to do.
yeah. So I mean, like you said, like we definitely need a governing body, like to just go to make sure everything's okay. But I think they're doing more harm than they are good. Whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know why some of these rules are put into place, but like some rules, what we're trying to do is, West Virginia is all about just developing the best and showcasing the best from West Virginia. So it's hard for us to do that when you have rules saying, hey, you can't work out with your AAU coach or a trainer in the during the season. You know what I mean? And during the season, like no one's working out on Sundays. Sometimes Saturdays are not working out. So why can't I go meet one of my players and train them or do something in the summertime just to keep them on their get on I mean during the season
It's
just
just
to
Yeah.
keep
holding
them.
athletes back
Yeah, man. And
every week.
that's what sucks about the WSAC, just sports in West Virginia. Like you have the kids that they're hungry, like they have the willpower, they have the work ethic, they work hard as shit, but they don't have the skill level. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
You need to
it's
develop that.
yeah, it sucks because they want it. You know what I mean? And that's half
Yeah.
the battle, like just wanting it, like having that willpower and having that hunger and desire to work and being a hard worker. So we have the hard workers, they just the skill level doesn't match, and that's what sucks.
Josh, I'll go ahead. So we played at Salem University together. We played from he played 1 year and I played for 3 years there. And this is a Division II school about 40 minutes outside in Clarksburg. I just think about when you're talking about the kids got to want it, they have to work for it. Like that was something that we had to do. I mean, we weren't blessed with God given talent. He might be 6'5". I mean, I'm 5'11" and 3/4. So like I had to bust my ass to get anything I want. And I guess that takes me to my question. You take yourself back 20 years ago, when you got recruited to now. What is the biggest difference in between the players? And it's not necessarily skill or talent. What do you think separates what you guys were able to accomplish with your class? Because you had a really good class when you graduated to now.
Wait, say that again?
Basically, what do you think is the biggest difference in a player from now, from your time to now?
Well, I mean, so because of NIL and stuff, I don't think that you can coach players the same way either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you could have coached me to say, if you give me $2 million a year, what the fuck am I going to, I'm gonna stay and get cussed out by Hugs for 4 years?
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, I might not have, I don't know. Who knows? But I did enjoy being coached. Like, I enjoyed being pushed to the next level, but I didn't enjoy, you know,
You didn't do the ass tunes had to be crazy sometimes, bro.
yeah, that didn't really bother me though, but I didn't enjoy like so each year I had to play behind Devin Ebanks, Deshaun Butler, Joe Alexander, which is reasonable, like all NBA guys, you know what I mean? Like good players, but I think I could have went to DePaul and played against Deshaun and bust Deshaun ass. That's my you know what I mean? I think I could have did that. And then if you're giving me $2 million on top of that to do
Yeah.
that, then
It'd
why
have been a
not?
no-brainer. Yeah, you would have did it probably.
I think you've been good at like Michigan State too, playing for Izzo. I think he would have really utilized you well, and at that time, you really could have been like a missing piece for them.
Yeah, but a lot of people didn't know. Like when I was coming out of high school, I could score too. Like I could score the ball.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I could still score. I just wasn't my role on this team.
no,
You
you
know
were,
what I
and you got to be a star at your role.
mean? Yeah, you just told me like I was 100 points away from 1,000. Like I
That's
could have won.
I'm a screenshot you your little stat sheet, bro. I mean, you literally did a little bit of everything. That's why the Swiss Army knife. That's how I always looked at you. That's what my
Yeah,
dad always called you too. He's like, that's the Swiss Army knife out there on the floor.
yeah. You gotta send me that, man. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Cause I
Yeah,
didn't.
I
I
got you.
mean, my junior through my freshman through junior, I was like 3 points.
Yeah, you averaged 3.5, 3.1, and then 3.9, and then your senior year 9.3, 6, and 3, and two
Yeah.
blocks.
But some games I would get loose, like you know what I mean, like in my
Oh, you had
freshman
a
through.
couple games where you had like 19, 18 points a couple times. I don't think you
Yeah,
ever broke 20 though in a regular season. I think you did in the March Madness once.
no, I
Yeah,
did in
counts, huh?
against Providence my senior year. I broke 20.
Okay, I must have just missed that game. I do remember you balling against Providence. Damn, you was going crazy.
Yeah, against Marshawn Brooks. He's a NBA
Yeah.
guy. You know what I mean? And so it's like when you go from like your junior year, like people really think like I just got better during that summer. You know what I mean? In reality is we didn't have Deshaun Butler anymore. We didn't have Devin Banks. So I just my role just changed. So now
Yeah,
I'm able to do what I've been capable of doing. You know what I mean? It's just different. It's just different. I just love my role. I love playing defense. I love doing all that stuff. So,
I wanted to ask, how good was Joe Alexander? You playing with him
he's the
every
best
day?
player.
If he never gets hurt, man, he might have been just legendary.
He did get hurt. He was hurt. Well, he's just
He
man.
was all he's brittle. He had brittle bones, bro.
Like,
Yeah,
what was so tough about him?
he's just different. Like he's kind of unguardable. Like he's probably the best player I ever played against. Honestly, like
Wow.
yeah,
And not a
he's
lot of
just
people talk about him from the state, but I remember when he got
No,
drafted. Like I was left. I was like, man, we could have did
bro, he
something
was like
special
eighth.
if he
He
if he
got
stayed
drafted like
around.
eighth.
yeah. But think
Yeah,
about that. When Beeline was here, he didn't play well for Beeline, but under Hugs, he thrived. It's like that playing style just changed. You know what I mean? Like you don't
he was
get
confident.
better. He could have been doing that under Beeline. You know what I mean? He's kind of hard headed, but he's good, man. Like he's athletic as fuck. Could jump out the gym. Could shoot. He could do everything. Like he was nice. The Hugs kind of helped him get to that next level for
It was
sure.
almost like a confidence change in him too, though. I remember it was like a flip switch for him.
Yeah, yeah. So Hugs brought that out of him because Hugs wasn't gonna let him be mediocre. Because Hugs saw the potential that that's what one thing Hugs, he saw the potential like you're the best motherfucker on this court if you just don't work hard. If he works, and that's the thing too. I don't even think he like on the court. Sometimes it looked like he was just being lazy. Like it looked like he was jogging, not sprinting, that type of stuff. And Hugs kind
Wouldn't
of made.
sweat.
But he is like one of the hardest workers I've ever met too. Like he's always in the gym, always working on his game. But like on the court, he just didn't know like this will make a difference if I go after every rebound. You know what I mean? If I sprint, run the floor, that makes a difference. If I set good screens and roll, it makes a difference. So Hugs really helped him with that.
Like, I'll see
I
him on
agree,
Instagram
Josh.
now. Like, he's still shredded, bro. Like, he's big. Like, he's still in the gym. Like, he's just a beast, bro.
Because he's
Yeah,
not almost 40, right?
I don't know.
yeah,
He's good.
he's up there. He's both.
He's like 38. He's older than you.
Yeah, he's like 38, 39. But
Y'all
yeah,
How
80s babies, man. Y'all, hey, yeah, that 40 coming soon, brother.
I got 4 years.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I got my joint. I'm scared.
How
It's a blessing, man.
often? Go ahead, John.
It's like
You were saying something, brother?
getting older is a blessing, man. A lot of people don't get to
For sure.
turn 40.
That's facts. It doesn't mean you got to look forward to it, though, because it's kind of. You live in the
Nah,
dream, but sometimes it's a nightmare, brother.
yeah, gotta stay active, man. That's the only thing. Just stay moving.
Facts.
I wanted to ask,
No doubt.
how often are you in contact with Joe Mazzulla and Deshaun Butler these days now that they're both busy coaching? I feel like Joe has like grown up so much since college. Like, how often are you talking to those guys?
Joe was nuts in
So we fuck every so often, you know what I mean? Those are my brothers, you know what I mean? Nothing changed. No matter how long we go without talking, when we see each other, we'll pick up where we left off, you know what I mean? So Joe's my kid's godfather. I mean, might as well be my kid's godfather. Those are my brothers. Wellington Smith too, Cam Thurman, that whole team, like we still keep in
Man,
contact.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. Wow. He
That's
worked
my
hard,
guy.
too.
Yeah, on and off the court. That's my guy, Karen Thurman. I probably talk to him more than anybody. But yeah, so I mean, I'm actually going to LA for the Celtics West Coast trip. I'm about to go
Nice.
Saturday.
Word. That's tough, bro. That's got to be so dope, though, just to see your friends, your brothers, bro, like going out there
Yeah,
and just living it up.
yeah, I'm just proud of him, bro. Like more than anything, I'm just proud of him. Just to see like where we came from, like the grind of where we came from and where we were trying to go. Like we always knew like we wanted to be successful. Like we used to watch the show Entourage. I don't know if y'all know Entourage, but
I remember that show. That's a long time.
yeah, we used to watch that religiously, you know what I mean, and just pretending that's us, you know what I mean. So yeah, man, it's dope, man. I'm just proud of him more than anything.
How much
I think
different
it's
is
just
Coach Mazzulla's mindset now from when you guys were playing and like, because like when you're in college, you guys are going out, you guys are like having fun, but now he's like a genius, like he's like
I still feel like
crazy,
he was
he's like
always super
military
locked in.
guy. Yeah, like how much different is he, or is he much different?
I mean, he's pretty much the same, you know what I mean. He's always been, like you said, he's always been locked in. He's always been studying film. He's always had a good basketball IQ. Nothing much has changed. He's just able to. I mean, someone just really recognizing game the opportunities.
For
It's
sure.
crazy because I played against when he coached at Fairmont. He coached against Salem. Like I played against Joe, and then I remember 4 years later seeing him. Ime Duco loses the job, and he gets it. I was like, and people were actually
Crazy, huh?
saying that he wouldn't be able to handle it. And I knew at the time. I said, this dude is so super focused and locked in. Like I saw one of his 1 through 15, knew everything about everyone, and the way he broke it down, I was like, his basketball IQ, that acumen he has, is seriously probably the best I've ever been around or seen.
Did y'all beat them or what? Huh?
They came to Salem, beat us by 14, I think, something like that. That was when they went to the, it was either the year they went to the national championship or it was the year after. Yeah, I mean they were
I watched a
sick,
lot of
but
his
then
podcasts that he's done, bro. He says funny things about that. He's like, man, he's like, we weren't even good, and I somehow got a job at the G League. He's like, we sucked at Glenville. It's so funny the way that worked. He's like, we weren't even good. I shouldn't even got the job. He's hilarious.
That's crazy. He's just a I don't know. He's just different. He's different. Like he's different. He's kind of
Yeah,
like Joe Alexander was different on the
yeah.
court. Joe was different, like the way he thinks, the way he's organized,
mental.
the way he does
I've
stuff.
heard so many funny podcast stories about him, man. He's like the player, like Derek White, and them were like, we went into practice and they got machine guns playing as loud as they can. Yeah, like
Like,
you
come
gotta look
on,
at all,
bro.
you gotta listen to all the podcasts that they've done, bro, because they say some funny stories. You're like, man, we're doing full court like tug of war drills with guns playing in the background. It's hilarious, bro.
Bro, his post game press conferences, bro, like he's just so. I don't know how he doesn't smile when he says some of the shit he says, bro. Like, it just
That's what
makes
I'm
me
saying.
geek
He's
so hard.
different.
Nah, he's just different, man. Yeah.
Well,
Like I
so
heard him
I want
say
to
he
kind of
was like,
speak on your pod a little bit. Josh and
go
I were
do, go
talking. I
do, go
remember
ahead.
like 5 or 6 years ago. Didn't he go down to Cedar Grove, right, and you're near the Charleston area, and you had a podcast. You had like all the former players on there with you. Like what kind of led you to and Kevin kind of going down this route and working together?
I mean, this is something we just kick the shit, man. It's not nothing serious. We just want to speak our minds about who's better to speak about basketball and what's going on with WVU. At the time, because Huz was still coaching and stuff, we could literally like tell you what's going on. But who's better to speak basketball than two guys that have been there before? So we just came out with that, and we started we were doing alumni games and that type of stuff. Like WVU basketball is just a brotherhood, man. Like we stick
It
together.
really
Like I
is.
met like Herbie Brooks, like he graduated in I don't know the '80s or something, early '90s, the '80s or something. That's like my brother. I talk to him all the time. Josh Yeager, Gansey, Pissnagel, like
Oh,
no matter
so
what.
you be rocking with Pittsnogle? That's my guy, bro. I said that's my dog.
Yeah, so like no matter like when anybody graduated, we're brothers. You know what I mean? We're alumni. You know what I mean? So we always talk with everybody, and we just get together and just do stuff. It's always good to come together and just hear everybody's stories, each other's stories, man. It's just hilarious.
So
That's cool.
I guess the next question, you spoke on alumni and obviously the TBT in Best Virginia. You guys have had some really, really good teams, bro. Like there's been, I think 2 years you guys had the most talent in the tournament, should have won it, and that was one year you went to the Final Four. And then as the second year you guys were ranked number one, you lost in the regional. What what is it going to take for West Virginia to finally win one of those, bro? Honestly, that gets me just as hype as watching March Madness, just because it's so great to see all the old heads and alumnus
Nostalgic.
come back and play, and even when we go pick up from other schools and stuff too, like especially West Virginia roots. I just love it, bro. I think it brings us all together.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we always try to get like imports, but they gotta have some type of West Virginia roots. You know what I mean, or something. But yeah, it's a tough tournament, man. Like we made it to the Final Four last year. We could have won if KJ would have played. KJ didn't want to
Yeah,
play, but he's gonna play this year if
he's
we're
gonna
in it
play this
again.
year
Yeah, if we're in it, we're gonna do something, man. We're gonna do
because
some type of.
I thought y'all were done. Like I thought you guys were hanging them up.
Nah, KJ's still playing overseas. He's still doing his thing,
That's
man. He's
crazy because
still
he's is he younger than you or is he's a little older than you, right?
we're the same age, but he
Were you
graduated a year. He was
were
a
you were born
yeah.
were you 88?
I'm 89.
89. Okay, so that makes. Oh yeah, so you basically a 90s baby.
Nah, KJ's 89 too.
And yeah, y'all 90s babies. That's crazy. But Josh, I'll go ahead and pass it back over to you, brother.
Yeah, speaking on getting imports, you remember that year Joe Johnson played in it and he was just shredding everybody.
Yeah,
Boy,
bro.
Man.
I'm glad we had. They played Marshall, huh? They had
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
some
yeah.
reason. I don't know for some reason didn't work
I
out so
couldn't
well.
believe he
ISO
was out there. I
Joe's
was like,
nuts.
yo. Then that other
But
dude was
yeah,
tough. That Kennedy got DJ Kennedy, he's tough too. He won that multiple years.
yeah,
He's a
he's
hooper.
tough. He went to St. John's. I think Huz recruited him too. He's good.
I wanted to make sure we
Well,
touched on
Josh,
this again before we go. I wanted to ask him about the
yeah, go ahead, bro.
WVSAC. Like we gotta stay on that for a minute. What are
Yeah,
some
we
rules
definitely got to talk about
that you
that
were
real quick.
thinking about, that you were talking about? Like what is just some things that you're like that you see and you're just like, man, what is this? Like, what are we doing?
WVSAC.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you can't talk to your, that's my main thing. Like you can't even talk to your players or be seen talking to them or work out with them or anything during the season. Like I'm not even asking, like I don't want to play tournaments during the season. Of course your high school
Of course
season, like
not.
it's a no-brainer. Like your high
But
school
you also
take
should have
precedent.
contact. Like
You
you should
have
be able to
what?
contact your players and work them out one time a week. That I feel like that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of the coaches, from what I've seen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they don't have basketball experience. They haven't played at that level where it's a lot of
With some
like
have it.
it's like local people like that don't really know anything about basketball. So it's like, why wouldn't you want your kids getting advice from me or you, someone who's played at that level? You know what I mean? Like anybody, it's illegal. Like you can't do that. Like it's just weird to me. It's
Yeah.
just weird.
Nah,
I
I
think that
agree with
goes
that
back to
too.
like the leadership. So like what you just said, like I don't know if the people like the older people at the WVSAC, I don't know if they're doing it intentional, but I think it's the same problem we have in college. Like these guys that are making the rules never was on the ground doing these things. Like these guys never played. Like the guys that are making the rules never played high school or AAU basketball. They have no clue how it works. They need people that did it to be on some type of board with them when
Yeah,
they have no clue how it works.
yeah. Like for example, like say Joe Mazzulla wanted to come next Sunday and host a clinic on Sunday. This is when everybody has a day off. He couldn't do it. He can't do it.
No,
That's
he
just
can
a
do it for
missed
like
opportunity.
seventh grade and below, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seventh
but
grade and
like
below.
your
I
high
was just
school
about to say
kids
that.
can't
They can't do
talk.
it. Yeah.
It's weird.
And that's the
It's
people we need it
weird.
the
It's just
most is the
weird
high school
rules, and
kids
I
that are
think
about to
that
go to the next.
yeah. And I think that the reasoning, some of the excuses I heard from the SAC is just they're going to get burnt out, which I think that should be left up to the parents to decide, yeah, and the kid. Like, who are you to decide if I'm gonna get burnt out or not? You know what I mean?
I think the good ones are in the gym anyway.
Yeah, they live
Yeah,
in the
like
gym.
I
They're gonna
Yeah,
break in on
exactly.
Sunday anyway. Just work by themselves. That's what I would do.
yeah. So they try to conflate like different sports. So like baseball burnout. I don't know shit about baseball. So they saying like pitchers can throw their arms out, which okay, I guess. But
But
like
that's
they
not
say,
everybody. That's the thing.
yeah, they say it takes away from education. Education is their main point, which for my AU program, if you got bad grades, you're not playing anyway. Like you need to go
Yeah.
to summer camp, summer school or something. So it's the
We would have
same thing.
study hall.
Like we emphasize, you said what?
Like we'd have to keep it 3-0 and have study hall. Like during when I played for my program.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to teach kids how to be, or young boys, young ladies, turn them into men, like mature adults. You know what I mean? Bring them into the real world, get them, let them know what to expect going to the next level. So now we get a lot of kids, they have like attitudes, body language was terrible, like stuff like that that you could just nip in the bud earlier. That maybe their high school coach doesn't know about that, or they just let it go because they don't think it's important. But that's very important at the next level. You know what I mean? Like no coach wants to deal with that. So it's like little things like that that people don't think about that we can help with. But I don't know
Yeah.
why they have those type of rules.
I think they just need people that played at that level and played in those experiences to be on like some type
Understand
of
it.
board making decisions. Like you gotta have somebody that knows. It's like the same thing with politics. Like if you have a bunch of old men making laws up for like women or people of color or people that don't have
Term
money,
limits,
like
please.
they have never lived it. How can you make bills and rules for people that you'd have no clue what they're doing? I think you just need player like
Or
hoopers,
no real
former
care.
hoopers on there. How young does your AAU team go? Like, what's your youngest team, or do you just have one?
Travel tips. My daughter, I just finished kindergarten girls basketball league yesterday. Kindergarten and second grade girls all team. So yeah,
Yeah, so like I'm an
it goes down.
assistant in high school, and so like I could only coach seventh grade or below in AAU.
Yeah, yeah, it was just weird. Like, and you played at a high level. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. I just don't get it. What's some Drew? What's some other rules? Like,
So
yeah, tell
you
me.
get one trans. So I'm gonna go over like a quick range of them. So in West Virginia, you get one transfer, but if you transfer in your eighth grade year, that technically counts as your high school transfer. So then you have to sit out for 365 calendar days. Also, instead of having 8 semesters in high school for eligibility, you now have 14 semesters from the time you enter sixth grade in a West Virginia school to play. So it doesn't matter if you transfer out for 5 years and you reclass, say your junior year, and you try to play your senior year, you'll be ineligible. Also, when you look at the way that tournaments and stuff are directed, if you turn 20 during any point during the season, you have to get a waiver signed by your athletic director and stuff. Say you were held back, right, and you turned from 19 to 20, which this actually happened about 10 years ago in a state tournament. They have to approve that before time or you become ineligible. Now, I'm all for not having 21-year-olds playing high school basketball, but some kids, transfer in and they're 19, they turn 20 their senior year. I turned 18 my senior year, so I don't know about that. That's just another rule, too, that's a little weird. Also,
Basically, like
I think the transfer pro
you get one time free transfer. Like if you're in high
free
school, if you
transfer.
go to your
One,
local
that's
high
it.
school, you can transfer anytime you want, one time for free, like anywhere you want to go. In middle school, you can transfer
Listen, but
every year if
transferring
you want to.
inside of West Virginia is crazy. You're going to go from the same county high school to another. Brother, the same guy that's recruiting, George Washington's recruiting capital. They're in the same area, bro. And now all that's going to look like is, oh man, you run when the grind gets tough. Like you're not really putting foot to the pedal. Like when shit gets hard, you're going to kick rocks. High school kids aren't getting recruited now anyway. They're going for these 3 to 4 year guys or juniors or seniors and just replacing them every year. Look at Indiana, the way they won a national championship in football. Their average age was 23.4 years old. You know how crazy that is? 10 years ago, everybody was one and done. Why are we doing this now? It's just, I think the transfer portal has changed a lot, and I think it's good for the college game, but for the high school game, I think it sets bad precedents.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Man, the 20 years old in high school is crazy. I never heard of no shit like that. It's
Yeah,
wild.
You have not seen anybody. Maybe my area is just idiotic or something, but I had 2 kids I knew that did that.
exactly. That's what y'all be doing up there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's that Bunker Hill never
That's what
ran, never
y'all.
will shit, dog. That's what I'm trying
That's
to
what
tell
I'm
you.
saying. That's what y'all. That's what y'all be doing. What?
Damo
So
turned
also like
20.
with
That
flex
guy that
days.
played at
So
Washington.
yeah.
Go ahead,
So like
Josh.
in the off season. So basketball season ends. The state tournament ends. You get 32 flex days that you can use up until the next season. So you only have 32 days that you can actually have basketball practice, basketball workouts. You get 32 total. We were talking to like high school coaches from Ohio. He said he had 32 workouts in 20 days in 1 month. So he's working out every
I just
player
don't.
individually. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand the rule. Like in Maryland, when I was coming out off season, our coach gave us he couldn't work with us, which it wouldn't have, I mean, at the public school, he couldn't work with us, but he gave us like we can go in the weight room, the gym was open
He just
sometimes,
couldn't
you
be
know what I
there,
mean?
right?
It was hard. Yeah, he just couldn't be there. So we would just play open gym and that type of stuff.
So we can do open
Yeah, I
gym
mean
for
this
sure.
Yeah, that doesn't count against a practice.
yeah. I don't know, bro. It's just weird with the rules. I mean, why not allow the coach to practice with his kids? Like why not?
Well, and then it's like you're
Control
thinking
thing,
Like
about
honestly.
they're going to be playing against kids in the summer and in college if they play college that have been doing that. It's the same thing with the shot clock. It's
Yeah,
like how are we not playing with a shot clock, but then you go to the
we're not
next level
preparing
and
our
you got to
kids for
use
next level.
one? How are you saying you want to prepare the kids to get an education in college if you can't even emulate what it's going to be like? I think they just need people they just feel
you said what?
they just need people that's been in the field and know what it's like. They just got
Yeah,
people that has no clue. They just got people telling them, "Hey, this is what's going on."
Yeah,
right. That's why you guys keep politics out of this. At the end of the day, you still need like a committee or
yeah,
something to organize right
Politics
practices
is
from
everything,
people that
bro. It
actually
ruins it
made up
all.
the sport. It does.
yeah.
So, but
Like
I don't have any more
I
questions,
just don't
Josh. I got.
understand.
Nah, you good, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like the rules. I would love more clarity on the rules, like flex day. Like, why is that a thing?
Hey, what
Why
I'll
are
do
Yeah.
you
is I'm
giving?
going to send you the WVSSAC site. They actually have a pretty like user friendly like manual that explains most of the rules. But at the end of the day, it's still not. It doesn't make much sense because these guys don't know what they're talking about in a lot of ways. Respectfully,
It's
I got you.
definitely,
I'll
bro.
shoot that to you on Twitter right now. But again, man, I appreciate you,
Sir.
J Flow. Again, as a kid, growing up watching y'all play, I was, I started watching you when I was 10 years old, and I got to see you until I was about 14, 15. So I mean, I remember just seeing the way you play now, how hard you work. It actually inspired me to work and bust my ass too. So I want to give you your flowers. Kevin Jones, Deshaun Buckley,
Literally.
like you said, Joe Alexander, Truck Bryant, you know, the Ruoff, like you guys. Y'all all busted your ass. Like that Huggins brand of basketball was always so present. And we really appreciate you joining us today on the ePants and UKV pod. Again, that's John Flowers, former West Virginia standout, joining Josh and I today. Great episode. Really appreciate you, J Flow. And again, man, have a great rest of your day. And hopefully we connect again. This was fun.
My guy, appreciate you.
That's just how I feel.